Your time is coming. May not be today, may not be tomorrow, may not be next week, may not be next month, may not even be next year, it may not even be in the next 5 years. But as long as you are dedicating yourself to something that's meaningful and you know that's going to add not only value to the world, but also yourself in monetary, physically, mentally, and spiritually, you tend to realize that it'll be all worth it in the end. I've been doing this real estate shit for since I was 18. I'm 23 now. So basically, what, 5 years, 6 years in the making. And at first, I mean, I was still learning the ropes of the industry when I was younger, but now it's like I'm working on several deals. I'm able to meet a bunch of people and just putting myself out there so that I'm building relationships, I'm building connections, but I also learn how to build those connections, learn how to build rapport by reading certain books, listening to certain people, and just really applying the things that I learned throughout these experiences by reading and listening to podcasts and so on and so forth for me to get to this point. Now I have a Rolodex of people in my network that I can give a call at any given moment. They'll be able to give me advice on any subject, whether it's real estate related or it's just personal. And I think a lot of it just comes down to being charismatic. I highly recommend the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Being genuinely interested in other people, asking questions about other people. People love talking about themselves. And when you understand, when you get a glimpse of how to understand people, how to read people, and how to communicate, you really have life at your hands. And I think a lot of it is really just pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone at every given moment of the day. If you know you're scared of doing something or you're fearful of doing something, just go ahead and do it. Fuck it. At the end of the day, we all die. No one's going to remember this shit anyway. So just get over yourself. Drop the ego to a certain degree. Yes, it's okay to have an ego, but don't let your ego stop you from going to where you want to go. Think you're too good for this, or thinking that, oh, you don't have to do that because you did it already, or whatever the case may be. I still work on the basics each and every day. I still do the things that I was doing at 18, 19, 20 that led me up to this point till this day. So at the end of the day, it's a never ending cycle, but it's definitely rewarding in the end. And honestly, just do whatever you can really just do whatever you want. Whatever endeavor you want to pursue, just go all in at it. Don't give it 50%. Don't give it 10%. Don't give it 80%. Give it 150% and really see where this shit could take you. And the thing is that the more work you put in on you to become the person that's worthy of having everything that it is that you want, is you tend to realize that the journey's a lot more fun than getting that specific thing or that amount of money. Realizing that all the long nights, all the sacrifice, all the no's you said, all the people hating on you, all the people saying they couldn't do it, that part right there is the most rewarding thing than the outcome itself. Because the thing is that you had to think different, you had to walk different, you had to talk different, you had to act different. And the fact that you were able to overcome all those obstacles goes to show that you believe in yourself and you had the confidence to say, no, fuck those people. They don't have shit to do with me. Like, I can literally do this shit on my own. Hold on. I don't think it has an effect. All right, cool. But yeah, I can do this shit on my own. I can do whatever it is that I want. And you start to realize that to a certain degree, it is you versus you, but you also want to see the people around you that are doing better than you and figure out a way how you can get to the next level, or talk to those kind of people, really see how they move. Like, a lot of the time, it's kind of hard to see it on social media because sometimes there can be a facade with some people. But I mean, at the end of the day, there's always a new mountain to climb. There's always going to be new heights. There's always going to be more money to make, more money to spend, more opportunities to capitalize on. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a level of discernment to say no to certain things, say no to certain people, say no to certain environments, then it's really is once you get to a certain level, you're going to start saying no and eliminating yourself from certain environments and you saying yes and capitalizing on certain things. The reason why I say that is because when you accept everything, when you do everything, you'll fall for anything. But the moment you realize and you have some discernment to the point where it's like, all right, I know I want to do this. Let's say I want to be a full-time content creator. I'm not going to learn shit about real estate. I'm not going to go learn shit about being an engineer. I'm not going to go learn about being a fucking dentist. I'm not going to learn how to be a fucking salesman. If I want to do content, I'm doing everything that's in alignment with content. Now, what does content mean? What kind of fucking camera do I need? What kind of equipment do I need? How should the lighting be? How do I need to learn how to edit? How should my hooks be? How should my bodies be in terms of what you're talking about? How should my call to actions be? How should my graphics and colors on my post be? All these things are in alignment with being a content creator. And that's most of the thing too, is just alignment. What are you doing to align yourself to where you want to go and who you become each and every day? And you must have a cognizant awareness of what you're doing on a daily basis, of what you're doing and how you're thinking. You have to kind of ask yourself, like, how would the best ideal version of me think in this situation? What would they do in this situation? When you really ask yourself, you get in tune with yourself, you start getting answers. But the only way you'll be able to get answers is when you're in solitude. When you're by yourself, you're not listening to other people aren't distracting you. You can really just sit with yourself, sit with your thoughts, and really understand what it is that I genuinely want out of life. And then that way you have a basic framework and you can just rewrite everything and reverse engineer everything to where you are today to get to that point. That's literally what I did, and that's literally how I am where I am today. I literally knew that the day I signed my offer letter to my job, I knew I was going to get it. I knew I was going to be the youngest real estate developer in the state, which I am. I'm literally in the process of working on my first couple of deals anyway. What else? I mean, the amount of money I've made, the amount of money I spent, the amount of money I invested in myself. And the thing is that I spend a lot of money investing in me. I invested in books. I invested in being in certain environments. I invested in gym memberships. I invested in cars. I invested in myself with like stocks and understanding how money works. Like, a lot of this shit comes down to just you believing in you. The moment you start spending money on you, you start to realize, like, I believe in myself. I'm taking action. I'm capitalizing. Then you realize, like, once you start getting in motion, like Newton's first law, object in motion stays in motion unless an unacted force reacts upon it, or whatever the fuck is called. But you get what I'm saying. But the moment you start building that muscle up over and over and over and over again, it becomes muscle memory. And then when you're just doing shit on your day-to-day basis, everything will just be coming to you automatically. And this is where frequency comes to place. Your frequency is what you frequently see. So if you're consuming bullshit, you're eating bullshit, you're thinking about bullshit, you're thinking about things that are not adding value to you, you're just indulging in vices, all of these things are going to become not only a detriment to you, but it'll become something that'll be a limiting factor to where you want to go, because all these things are consuming you. The moment you replace those things with good habits, positive reinforcements, positive thoughts, and just thinking about where you want to go, then that's what your life will be curated around. And the moment you start curating a more positive environment for yourself, you'll start attracting everything that it is that you possibly wanted. Now, you could take what I say with a grain of salt, or you could apply this shit. I really don't give a fuck, but it's worked for me, and I just want to relay the information that I was able to learn to you guys, because this shit actually works. Now, for me, it didn't happen overnight. I just stayed consistent, because at the end of the day, time is going to go by anyway. What you must realize is that time is going to go by anyway, so you might as well get the fuck up and do it. At least if you're continuously doing the work each and every day, at least in a year, 2 years, you look up, you're actually furthering than where you were yesterday or a year before, number one. Number two is time is the most valuable asset. So I've seen a lot of people in corporate America, bro, they look up, they've been in their job 10, 20, 30 years, and they're still fucking miserable. And I just don't want that to be you guys. And I'm not saying, oh, don't do a 9 to 5. If that's what you want to do it, but do it to the highest capacity possible. That's all I'm saying. I do everything to the maximum standard you possibly can do it at. I live by the mantra of excellence is a standard, and I have excellence in everything I do, whether it's effort, my mindset, what I'm consuming, who I'm hanging around. All of these things are just things that I live by, and I just feel that these things have definitely been conducive to my success, and I will continue to multiply the shit that I have now. But really just understanding what it is that you want, and just being just being intentional with what you want and just going after it with no remorse and just being 100% authentically you. If you're an asshole, I know me. I know I'm an asshole. I can be a dickhead sometimes, but there's also a side of me that's kind, that's caring to a certain degree. So you kind of just have to understand yourself, but also be unapologetically you. Don't change yourself for anybody. Don't try to have to prove yourself to other people. Don't have to feel like you're not valued in certain rooms or whatnot, because at the end of the day, we're all human. We all came into this world the same, and we'll all leave this world the same, not literally, but figuratively. But I think since we only get one shot at this shit, just go all in and just do what it takes. That's it for today's video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.